Hello there again, Mr. Noldy here. Today we're going to be talking about beginner or basic exponent rules. Hey there, sports fans. It's Mr. Noldy. If you're just meeting me, I've been teaching high school math for almost 25 years now. That includes my 4 daughters, so I have a lot of practice at this. So today we're going to be talking about just basic exponent rules and how they apply. Okay, and welcome. So today I was going to be talking about exponent rules. Specifically, the 3 I was going to hit were the product rule, the quotient rule, and the power rule. So let's go. Okay, so the first exponent rule I was going to talk to you about was the product rule. So the reason it's called the product rule is because whenever you're going to multiply, and I'll do this in Algebra Ease at first, we're going to multiply 2 numbers that have the same base. The shortcut is that you just add those exponents together. So here's how that works with some real numbers. Suppose I had x to the 7th times x to the 3rd. Now these are both, I'm multiplying, and these are the same base. So all I have to do is add these exponents. So that would tell me that I could say, all right, that's the same as x to the 7 plus 3, or x to the 10th power. But why does it work? Okay, here's why it works. X to the 7th, if I were to write this out in factored form, I would write 7 factors of x. So here's, that's 6, there's 7. So here are my 7 factors of x, written right here. Then I would write out 3 factors of x over here. So let's see, I'll highlight that in red. So here's my 3 factors here. So if I were to do this and I counted the factors, I'd have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So this is a lot of work to do. So that's why I called this a shortcut. You're just going to add the exponents when you see that the bases are the same base. So that's why this works out, because when I add all of these together, or I count them all up, I saw that there were 10 of them. So that is the basics of the product rule. Now let's continue with the quotient rule. So this is called the quotient rule because you're not multiplying anymore. Now you're looking at a product, or I'm sorry, at a quotient. So in Algebra Ease, that would say I have x to the m over x to the n. And again, this is a shortcut. That would be x to the m minus n. But why does this work? Well, let's use my favorite numbers again. X to the 7th over x cubed, say. So using the shortcut, I'd say x to the 7 minus 3, well, that just gives me x to the 4. So that's the shortcut. But why does it work? Well, here's why it works. Because if I were to write out all of the factors of x to the 7th, I would have 7 factors of x. So there's 4, 5, 6, 7. And then that would be over, let me make that over a little further. That would be over my x cubed. So I'd have x times x times x. So what happens here is 3 of these cancel with these 3. So remaining on the top, we have 1, 2, 3, 4. And this is a 1, and this is a 1. I guess they could have written that in there, technically. And that just gives me x to the 4th. But again, doing this doing all this business, that's a lot of work. So that's why we have these shortcut rules that say, hey, I can subtract the exponent on top minus the exponent on the bottom and get this answer a lot quicker. So there is our quotient rule. And now, last but not least, we will talk about the power rule. So if I have an exponent raised to another power. So let's look at this in Algebra Ease. So I have some number, x to the m to the n. Well, the shortcut says go ahead and multiply m times n. But why does that work? Well, let's go ahead and take my two favorite numbers again here, 7 and 3. So I have x to the 7th cubed. So I'm going to just multiply those exponents the short way and come up with x to the 21. But here's why it works. How many factors of x to the 7th do I have? I have 3 of them. So I would have x to the 7th times x to the 7th times x to the 7th. Make my times sign a little better. So again here I have multiplication and I have like bases. So now I'm back to that first rule, the product rule, that says I can just multiply or I can just add 7 plus 7 plus 7. So that ends up being 7 plus 7 plus 7, or 21. So we get the same answer, x to the 21, by doing this. So again, this is how it was originally taught, maybe in middle school, but in algebra, this is the rule that we use. We just multiply the exponents. When we have one exponent writing on the parentheses and another base with an exponent inside, we just multiply. And that, my friends, is a basic rundown of exponent rules. All right, I hope you like that. Go ahead and give it a thumbs up if you don't mind. Also, feel free to go back and rewind it and watch it again. If there's any rules or any aspects of those rules that you'd like clarification on, go ahead and enter it in the comments down below. Until next time, this is Mr. Noldy signing out.